This year, on the 23rd of June 2016, the United Kingdom will be voting on whether to remain a part of the European Union, or EU. This series of videos is about the EU, what it is, what it does, and where it comes from. Europe is the third largest continent in the world by population and the most densely populated, its borders being mostly defined by its shared history and culture. With many islands, large rivers and mountain ranges, Europe naturally splits up into a number of different countries, all of which have developed separately but with many common features. Its borders to the east are marked by the Ural and Caucasus Mountains, the Ural River, the Caspian and Black Seas, and the waterways of the Turkish Straits. As such, there are some countries, most notably Russia and Turkey, that lie partly in Europe and partly in Asia. Europe has always been rich in natural resources and has a generally temperate and mild climate, so from its earliest days it has been one of the centres of wealth and power in the world. Other parts of the world such as China, India, the Middle East and parts of Africa and the Americas also had large, wealthy and powerful civilizations, but it was the period known as the Enlightenment which saw the rise of scientific thinking in Europe, followed by the Industrial Revolutions, that gave Europe an edge. Many European countries extended their reach through trade and conquest, forging large empires which built and were supported by a global slave trade. They plundered vast quantities of raw materials, often selling these same materials back to their colonies at great profit in the form of manufactured goods. The European countries grew very rich at the expense of the populations of much of the rest of the world, a situation which helped cause many of the world's current problems. Because there were a large number of different European countries vying with each other for large amounts of wealth in a relatively small area, there were many wars. There are different ways of counting them, but there have been around 200 wars since the beginning of the 17th century, with around 80 of those in the 20th century. The extent of European influence throughout the world meant that other countries were dragged in, and as military technology got more and more advanced, casualties rose. In the First World War, over 17 million people died. In the Second World War, it was over 60 million, with 27 million of that alone suffered by the Soviet Union. It was this slaughter that led to the desire to bring 6 of the major European countries close together with the European Coal and Steel Community in 1951, which became the European Economic Community in 1958, and as it grew larger became the European Union in 1993. The continent still had wars, notably in the Balkans and recently in Ukraine, but the mass slaughter of previous centuries has been successfully avoided. As it stands, the EU still only contains 28 of the 50 states in Europe. Since the dawn of the modern age, Europe's history has been a bloody one, yet for the past few generations it has enjoyed a period of relative peace, a situation in which the European Union had a large role to play.